All right, next we call on stage is a somebody who was a managing director of Jyoti Labs, जिसका valuation 15,000 crore है. ये सुन के ही अपना एंटीना खड़ा हो जाता है. और उस बंदे ने ऐसा काम किया कि उसको CNBC बेस्ट सीईओ ऑफ द ईयर अवार्ड मिला. हम लोग इतना जानते हैं उनके बारे में कि पढ़ के ही इंस्पायर हो जाते हैं. ही इज अ चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट एंड ही गॉट द अवार्ड फॉर बेस्ट चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट इन बिजनेस कैटेगरी from Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. After coming out of Jyoti Labs, he started his own consulting firm, UK and Company, who's delivering a lot of consulting advice in the field of family business management. He's on board of companies like V-Guard and Company, received a large number of awards. I can go on and on and on talking about him, but let us hear from the man itself. Please welcome on stage, join your hands together for K. Ullas Kamat ji. Please join your hands together, ladies and gentlemen. Ullas ji, I hand over my piece to you. It's all yours now. Thank you so much. Eager to hear it from you, sir.
Thank you, everyone. And I think my panel members can come onto the stage. Good afternoon, everyone. It's a great honor for me to be here amongst all of you. It's always nice to come to... I'll call it. Everybody have come, right? Everybody have come. May I request Sanjay Godavat ji, please come onto the stage, please. Sangeeta Ranwal Lanwani ji. Nandakishore Chaudhary sahab. Yogesh Chaudhary. Ashok Mehta. Please, sir. Sit. Yes, madam.
Thank you.
Welcome, sir. Thank you for the opportunity. And we have today here well-established, renowned business people. My name is Ullas Kamat. I'm from Bangalore. My job is to get the best out of them in relation to family managed business. Just to set to a context, family managed business is past, present, and future of any economy, including India. And if you take 500 top family businesses in the world, the value of theirs is $8 trillion. In other words, if you take 500 top family managed business and put them in an island, that island will become the third largest economy today after US, China. That becomes the third largest economy. That is the power of family managed businesses. So in India, family managed business has been there right from Tata Birla's days. But now, in the recent last 30, 40 years, we see Tatas, Birlas, we see Godawats, we see Ambanis, Adanis, and Mariwalas, Agarwals, and we see many from South, Muthoor's, TVS. And this is the glory and this is the future of family managed business, and we need to celebrate that. Now, the data clearly says that from the first generation to the second generation, only 30% is going. The data says that from first generation to second generation, only 30% business is going. That means your children getting into your business, chance is only 1/3. And the business from the second generation to third generation, that is the business going to your grandchildren, is only 12%. And business going to the great-grandchildren is 3%. And that is the worry, all of us, we should have it. Just to give a relative number, in Japan, we have 33,000 companies who have crossed 100 years. We have 3,260 companies in Japan, such a small, tiny country. 3,260 companies have crossed 200 years. In India, less than 1% of our companies have crossed 100 years. The reason is we don't know how to give it to our children, or children don't know how to respect and receive from the parents. It is a tough decision we have, and we need to, and your community, one of the front runner in family managed businesses, and your community, both Saraswati and Lakshmi staying together, that's the biggest boon you have, both Lakshmi and Saraswati together. So it is our understanding today, just to take the experience from everyone, that how can we sustain the family businesses, how can we mix the tradition with the innovation, and how do we manage our children? And managing children is not easy. We have only one son here from Jaipur Rux, and we'll ask him. But another angle I'll give you that will worry you more. Fertility rates are coming down. As of now, in South, it's about 1.7. So most of the households will have one child, and that means to say that you do not have many options to choose between the children, which used to be there in the earlier decades. You have 3 children, you can always have one person to carry on your business. You have 5 children, you can always have 10 businesses to manage by these 5 people. But today, when you have only one daughter, only one son, if they're not interested, what do you do with them? So this is the biggest challenge what we have. Without wasting much more time, but just I want to set the context. Sir, my first question to Godawas sir. Sir, you are into everything. He is a star of Karnataka, and he is a star of Maharashtra, and he is a star of the whole country. So we always see you everywhere. So just I want to tell you that you are a self-made man. You do so much. You are into education, you are into airlines, you are into consumer goods, you are into philanthropy in a big way, and do everything. My question to you is that, where do you get the idea, and what are you doing for, and how are you going to transfer to your children?
Hello. First of all, I would like to thank Jito for inviting me for this session. So thank you very much, sir. And you have asked me the question, which is very difficult to answer because it's a journey of 40 years. So I have started from scratch in 92 with 2 lakh rupees. And then I have diversified group into different sectors from salt to sky. So now it's very difficult because, as you said rightly, that the families are nuclear now and there is a one son and one daughter. So how to make transition of these businesses? तो आज बहुत डिफ़िकल्ट हो गया है ये, और जैसे कहते हैं कि सक्सेशन जो है बहुत बड़ी चीज़ है अपने लाइफ में, कि जो हमने पूरे अपने लाइफ में काम किया है, मेहनत की है, वो बराबर हाथ में जानी चाहिए, ऐसे में मुझे लगता है, क्योंकि सक्सेसर का मतलब होता है उत्तराधिकारी इन हिंदी, जो उसका मतलब है कि जो उत्तर देने वाला अधिकारी हो, जिसको हम रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी दे सकते हैं. ऐसा चाहिए कि लड़का एक है हमको और उसको कुछ नहीं आ रहा है तो उसको सब दे के भी फ़ायदा नहीं है. तो जो रिस्पॉन्सिबल आदमी है, जो कैपेबल है कि जो हमारा बिजनेस आगे चला सकता है, तो उसको सक्सेसर बनाना चाहिए, ऐसे मुझे लगता है. लकीली मेरा लड़का कैपेबल निकला, तो उसने अच्छी तरह से वो सब ट्रांजिशन जो है वो अच्छी तरह से कर रहा है और फैमिली ट्रस्ट भी बना रहा है वो. तो इस तरह से अगर फैमिली ट्रस्ट बना के हम आगे जाते हैं, रिस्पॉन्सिबल एक आदमी को पकड़ना चाहिए, ओनर आप सबको बनाओ चाहिए तो फैमिली मेम्बर को, लेकिन रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी एक आदमी को दे के हम अच्छी तरह से ट्रांजिशन कर सकते हैं और उसमें आगे जा सकते हैं.
थैंक यू सर. मैडम, आपके लिए यू आर अ फर्स्ट जनरेशन एंटरप्रेन्योर, एंड हाउ डू यू सी द सक्सेशन इन योर बिजनेस?
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you, Jeff, for inviting me. This is really a big honor. Usually past chairs को लोग कम बुलाते हैं, but thank you for inviting. Your question was, I am a first generation entrepreneur and how do I want to take it forward? I would like to correct you, sir. I am not a first generation entrepreneur. I come from a family of entrepreneurs. My father was a first generation entrepreneur and I'm the 7th generation jeweler from my in-laws side.
Very good, very good.
And yes, I also have this question, ki how do I take it forward? Because I have only one child, and he's a PhD he's a PhD from Stanford, who is doing extremely well in the Bay Area in robotics and AI and other companies. So that is a question that PhD Stanford, I don't see him running after a jewelry business or a real estate business in India. तो ये एक मेरे लिए एक बहुत बड़ा सवाल है कि आगे जाके क्या. तो मैंने मेरे बेटे से पूछा, बच्चा इसका आगे जाके क्या करेंगे? तो उसने बोला, माँ, we will manage it professionally. So that is
Very
the
nice.
answer.
I think she's on the right track. We always say that family-owned, family-managed business, soon to be family-owned and professionally managed. There are many people who want to run your business very professionally. You can keep the ownership, and I'm sure that your son from the Stanford will be owning the company, but somebody can manage it and he can
Exactly
be
what
on
he
the
said.
board.
He said we will be there, we'll be the owners, but somebody else will be running.
Absolutely, yes. You're on the right track. I
Thank you,
just to add wherever I need to add, just to tell you that in India, 90% of the companies are family-owned, family-managed. Only 10% are family-owned, professionally managed. The reason why people do not want to do the professionalization is because they think that they lose the control on the business. That is a myth, but that's what they think. By engaging the professionals, you lose the control. Control means they want everything to be signed by them, and they need to be there in every meeting. They need, no decision can be taken without consulting him. That's the control they think that they lose, and most of the people believe that if you retire, then nobody cares for you. That's not the way. You can always be on the board. You can ask the question on the board, and the company should be run by the board. Now I'll ask the most wanted businessman who is helping 40,000 or employees, in the sense contractors who are doing the rugs, and it's called Jaipur rugs, all of you know. And he's doing it more of an emotion, more of a philanthropy, but also converting into a business model, and his son has joined him. And I want to take from the father that what made you to do what you are doing now, and what you want your son to be following you, and what your son should not be following you.
देखिए, हमारा जो बिजनेस मॉडल है ना, ये बियॉन्ड प्रॉफिट है. तो इसमें प्रॉफिट भी है, और इट इज ड्रिवन बाय हार्ट, इट इज ड्रिवन बाय कंपैशन. तो मेरे 5 बच्चे हैं.
Very good. Congratulations, sir.
तो 3 बेटियां और 2 बेटे, और 500 बच्चे अमेरिका में पढ़े. तो मैं जब ये बिजनेस कर रहा था, तो मैं केवल, मुझे कारपेट बनाने का बड़ा शौक था. गांव में काम करना मेरे को बहुत अच्छा लगता था. तो जब 500 बच्चे मेरे को बिजनेस करते देखते थे कि बाहर के जो कस्टमर आते थे, तो मोस्टली उनका इंटरेस्ट केवल प्राइस था. दे बाई द प्राइस, सेल द प्राइस. तो वो देखते थे पापा तो बड़ा मन से कारपेट बनाते हैं. तो सारे 500 बच्चे दे वर लाइक द फ्रेंड्स टू मी. तो अमेरिका पढ़ने के बाद में 500 बच्चों ने मेरे को ज्वाइन किया, और वो उस जो मेरा विजन था, जो फिलोसफी थी, उसमें वो इतने ज़्यादा सेट थे कि दे टेक द इंडस्ट्री टू द नेक्स्ट लेवल. तो शुरू में जब 500 बच्चों ने बिजनेस शुरू किया, तो बिजनेस बहुत तेज़ी से बढ़ा. फिर धीरे धीरे समझ में आया हमें कि 500 बच्चों में डिफरेंस ऑफ ओपिनियन है. तो मैनेजमेंट और बिजनेस और इमोशंस तीनों एक साथ मिक्स हो जाते हैं. तो अभी हम लोग भी यही फैमिली जो ट्रस्ट है वो बना रहे हैं, और प्रोफेशनल बिजनेस को मैनेज करें, और परिवार के लोग उसमें एज ए बोर्ड मेंबर, ट्रस्टी उसमें काम करें, जिससे उनकी जो खासियत है वो उसमें कंट्रीब्यूट कर सके, और
Thank
जो
you, sir.
ओनरशिप की फीलिंग है वो उसमें नहीं रहे.
Thank you, sir. We have heard about the trust. Just to give the data point, in India, only 4% of the companies have formed a trust. The rest of the people are still talking. So, intention to form a trust, intention to have a board-driven company, and really doing is just 5%. Just for an idea. And sometimes business people will get confused. Writing a will and forming a succession plan are the same, but they are two different. Will get operation when you are not in this world, you cannot change it. Succession plan will get into operation when you are alive, you can always change it if you don't like it. So do not get confused with the writing of the will and proper succession planning. And when I say succession planning, it is not just for the ownership, it is for the leadership. You need to know if the general manager leaves, what happens. You should know if the VP leaves, what happens. You should know if your son comes, if the VP leaves, what happens. These are all the succession planning which is to be done very, very quickly, and do not delay that. And most of the people have failed in taking it on a priority, and for them everything is priority other than planning for succession and for both in the family and also at a leadership. Just a point of view. Now I'll ask our hero, Yogesh Chaudhary. How difficult is to work with your father? No lies.
I think there's good and bad.
You tell us the bad.
No, I'll tell the good first. I think luckily I've had a father. I think when I talk to a lot of my friends, the सबसे बड़ा problem I see that they say is that they don't get freedom. So in my case, that was the opposite. And I got complete freedom to do whatever I wanted to do, which I think I must compliment, because normally I've heard that the first generation is always trying to say कि ये मत करो, ऐसे मत करो, मुझे आता है, तुम्हें नहीं आता. Here, he said, you do the way you want to do things. And it was almost running completely like my own business. I think the challenge comes when on certain policy issues or certain ways when you look at so when we were growing, I realized that a lot of people we want to get in the marketing and other places, they wanted Saturdays off. Obviously, he comes from a background where 7 days there is a working, right? So how do you bridge those gaps? I think that's where some of the challenges have been. But overall, I think I've been lucky that I've not had.
What did you do? Are you working on a Saturday or not now?
So now we compromise. So we have 2 Saturdays on and 2 off.
Okay, some change. Good one. Tell me, no. You are very, very important. Tell me one thing which you do not like in your father as a leader.
One thing that I don't
which you want to change.
That's a difficult one to answer impromptu.
Okay, think about it. We'll come in the second round. Mehta sir, you're running a global enterprise, and most of them are import and export. And what, according to you, India 2047, if you want to achieve Viksit Bharat, what Indian businessmen, especially family-managed businesses, should do, sir?
First of all, you have to change your mind from traditional business to technology business. I am from the textile background, and now we are the first company who start the semiconductor chips plant in India. And we already start the production. Now India is talking on the chips. And we already start the production. And my son, he's studying from that Warwick Business School, UK, one of the best business school from the world. He joined to me in 2015. And after he joining me, we grow very nicely. Because the bonding with father and son, just like an Fevicol. My son is not just like a son, he is one of the best friend of me also. And every points we discussed about all the business factors. In the COVID time, all the world facing the crisis of the chips. At that time, we thought, why not entered in that business? And when I discussed with my son, immediately he laughed. How you can think about that business? You know about the chips? What is the chips? Because me and my son both, we are not from that technical background. I am law graduate, he is masters in marketing and strategic management, and we thought about the semiconductor chips at that time in 2021 or 22. After studying a lot, we succeed and we start the production. But the combination in the family is very important. So many times, so many people questioned me how you can manage. I learned a lot, and in 2015, I joined then one program in the ISB Hyderabad for the family business, and I joined and I learned a lot. You will discuss with your children because they have a good knowledge, better knowledge than us, because the time has changed. They have the best knowledge from their universities and then circles, and they studied a lot. So you have to understand their knowledge and give some freedoms to them to implement that. So we start in a very good way. And for this industry, even our Prime Minister Modi sir discussed about this industry, our industry, for 10 minutes about that industry at the time of our opening. And he also appreciated how the textile people come in the this technology industry, but we can prove it, and we start the production with the joint venture with the Japanese company.
Fantastic, sir. Fantastic. Lot of takeaways. Lot of takeaways. First is treat your children as your friends at an appropriate time. I think that's the one good takeaway from his talk. The second one is that you do not have to have the core competence to do something. You can always have people who have the core competence, but you need to have the passion to do that. And ISB is one of the finest family managed business courses they run, like SP Jain, and he has attended it and he has understood from there, and absolutely fantastic, sir. Now let me go for the second round. This is more into Jnana to everyone. Sir, from your side, what is the age to enter business? What is the age at which children should get into the business? And what is the age elders should retire?
I think there is no age bar, because age is the number game only. At the age of 19, I started my business, and at the age of 53, I became pilot. So there is no age bar to become anything, anybody in our life. So when you are matured, so you can enter the business. Your only main thing is that you have to take proper decisions at right time. So, and make it right, that you have to make that decision right. So that is the main thing. And जैसे भाई साहब ने कहा कि लोग माइंड सेट नहीं बदलते हैं, तो जब सब बदलते हैं, सोफा सेट बदलते हैं, डिनर सेट बदलते हैं, हैंड सेट बदलते हैं, लेकिन माइंड सेट नहीं बदलते हैं. तो अगर माइंड सेट हम चेंज करते हैं, तो जिस फील्ड का जो मास्टर है उसको हम लेते हैं, तो वो फील्ड आराम से अच्छी तरह से चलता है. सब काम अगर मैं करूँगा ऐसे रहेगा तो कभी हम डेवलपमेंट नहीं कर सकते हैं. तो आगे जब हम सक्सेशन करते हैं, ट्रांजिशन करते हैं, तब उसमें हमको यही देखना है टीम में कि लीडर्स कितने अच्छे हैं, हमारे कैपेबल है या नहीं है. तो एवरीबडी इज़ अ लीडर, बट वी हैव टू गिव देम लिबर्टी टू एक्सप्लोर देयर कैपेबिलिटी. तो ये जो है लीडरशिप अच्छी रहेगी तो हमारा सक्सेशन सक्सेसफुल होता है.
Very nice, sir. Just to take away what he has said is that age is just a number. But when I interviewed 296 family managed businesses only in Karnataka, I interviewed 296 family members. You'll be surprised, 90% of the children wants their time to come as early as possible. 90%. They may not tell you, but 90% of children says that if my father works till 90, I'll be playing golf when I'm 50. And they're playing golf. Children are playing golf because they think that I will never sit on the chair. And when we do the research, it comes out very clearly. So don't take it as granted that children do not want that independence. They still work. But in his case, he's very, very young entrepreneur. He has lots. But I'm talking from the general perspective. In US, it's about 75 years. In Europe, it's about 75 years. Japan is about 80 years. Singapore is about 70 years. They have made it as a form that you lead, you advise, you mentor, And then you mentor the other business people. Successful business people can always mentor other business people. So it's just a point, sir.
Yeah, just a second. You have asked me one question that what is the proper age of retirement? So I forgot that to answer. So there is no age of retirement also, because retirement is the worst virus in the world. Corona is a biological virus. You can correct it. You can rectify it. And computer virus is a mechanical virus. You can correct it. But retirement virus is the worst virus. There is no medicine for that.
Absolutely
So
right.
you have to work till your last breath.
Yes. Again, the research clearly says that the first generation entrepreneur do not retire. Second generation entrepreneur retire on appointed time. And third generation will never take up the job only. You got it right? So the way how he says, it is no different. The research is very, very clear because they want their company to be run as long as they're physically fit, mentally fit, they're able to take a decision. Nothing wrong in that. That's what the data says. But if you want to run the company for 6th generation, 7th generation, 8th generation, just imagine that the first generation is 85, his son will be 65 or maybe 60. That's the one question which you answer. Madam, for you the question is the risk-taking ability. People say that the children do not have the risk-taking ability now as much as the parents have. They don't take the risk. What do you say about it? Risk-taking ability, generally for the kids.
I don't agree with you, sir. And especially this community that we are sitting with, the Marwari community, our children, our parents, and they have seen it everywhere. कि बगैर risk के तो कुछ भी नहीं होगा. Higher the risk, higher the gains. So everybody, right from childhood, they see that risks are always taken, and they've always taken risks. Whether it is by going abroad and starting something new, whether it is something starting new in India, or whether it is doing something anywhere around the world. Risks are always taken. They enter into new businesses. They enter into new ventures. They enter into everything totally different. So I have yet to come across such this case where at least the families that I move around and the circles that I move around, where the children are not taking risks.
Yeah, I agree with you, what you're saying, but risk-taking is more of a relative. What we are seeing is risk-taking ability and not seeing the risk. They're totally different. Most of us, we don't see the risk. It's not that we take the risk. We don't see the risk. We are not able to see the risk. Risk is what if something goes wrong? What is the reputation risk? What is the chance of me starting all over again? What is the confidence risk? What is the level of confidence that will come down in the investors or in the family? The risk is not just a loss of money. The risk is much, much more than that. So the elders have the wisdom to capture the risk, and youngsters will use their knowledge to do the risk mitigation. And it is just that for a larger audience.
I absolutely agree with you, sir. So that is where the elders come in. When the children are taking a risk, they discuss with the elders, this is what I want, and then they get into something called a calculated risk.
Absolutely, yes. That's what I want to hear. And sir, for you, between education, experience, and passion, which one you like most?
Passion.
Education, experience, or passion?
पेशन
Passion. Passion है तो सब कुछ है. Correct?
मतलब काम करने में मतलब जो अभी मेरे को कितने लोग ये पूछते हैं कि चौधरी साहब आपने गरीब लोगों की सेवा की, आपने लोगों को एम्पावर किया, ये किया वो किया. मैं हमेशा ही बोलता हूँ मैंने केवल कस्टमर को ध्यान में रखते हुए बिजनेस किया, लेकिन मैंने जो किया वो अपने आनंद के लिए किया, अपने मज़े के लिए किया. एंड वन डे स्टार्ट ओवरफ्लोइंग एंड रीचेज टू द अदर्स. तो ये जो सेवा है ये ओवरफ्लो है मेरे आनंद का.
Fine, sir. Yogesh, I have not forgotten what is the one thing which you don't like in leadership style of your father.
I think he still works too hard.
Yeah. I thought as much. Yeah. And for you, when you take a decision, most of the elders take the decision based on the experience. We call it as a gut feeling. Most of the youngsters take the decision based on the data. And both are 90% will not match. Again, what I'm saying is out of the research, not my feeling. Children wants decision to be taken based on the data available. Elders say that, no, don't worry about it, it'll work. And you don't know where to get it from. And how do you think How do you manage that conflict?
I think it's a great question. I think sometimes too much data creates paralysis, and you don't make a decision. So when we were starting in India, also the retail business, we got some consultants involved, and they gave us size of the market. And when I looked at the data, I said this doesn't really make sense to me. So I started to argue with the consultant. I said I don't think this data is correct. And obviously, if I had gone by the consultant, India was a 300 crore market only in the luxury in carpets. But as of today, just in 7-8 years, we do about 150 crores in India. So that is not technically possible if his data was correct. So I think you're absolutely right that there is data that says a lot of things. But the gut, at least for us, the gut is more important than just the data.
Yeah, one follow-up question for that. Elders pay in the organization, including for the past services. Elders in any organization, when you pay the salaries to your employees, some of the salaries are paid for the past services. He's been good, he's been with us for 25 years, you don't know about him, and when you are born, he was already there as an accountant, and over the period of time, his salary has gone up and gone up, but if you really see the replacement cost today, you get at 25% of the cost, you get a new person in that place. That's what we say, that elders will pay for the past services. Youngsters will always question that, why should we pay for that? What do you have to say as a youngster?
I think the business needs both. I joined 19 years ago, and actually my father restarted his business in 1999. So the business was only about 7 years old when I sort of joined. So we didn't have that issue too much in our organization, but yeah.
Perfect. Mehta sir, what is your take on private equity and IPO?
We already start that private equities in our companies in a very good valuations, and big players already in the queue for that. And for equity, IPOs we are planning after 3 years, because we believe on that first we have to prove to set up that business and scale the business. Our strategy is that.
So we can see your IPO in the next 3 to 5 years' time.
Within 3 years.
Yeah. For all the business people, this is one of the best way to unlock the value in your business is to go via PE and IPO, undoubtedly. And Indian stock market, I'm not recommending for you to buy the stock, but the data clearly says that the GDP to the market capitalization has to be 6 times. We are still at about 3.5 times. There's enough room in the stock market, and enough good companies are coming in, and you should be participating in that, because that also gives the strength for the company to go 2047, strength for the country to go 2047 Viksit Bharat. And we want to be a $30 trillion company by 2047, $30 trillion economy. And if we grow at about 8 or 8.5%, we'll reach there. So data is very clear. And all of you can participate in that. And my last round, it is for everyone, quick answers. How do you separate the family with the ownership, sir? Ownership and management. How you take that decision?
ओनरशिप जस्ट टोल्ड दैट कि अगर कोई रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी लेने वाला रहेगा हमारे फैमिली में तो उसको देनी चाहिए. ओनरशिप सबको देनी चाहिए, जो भी फैमिली मेम्बर्स है उनको सबको देनी चाहिए, क्योंकि उनका जो भी एक फिक्स कर देंगे हम खर्चा तो उनका लाइफ आराम से चलेगा. तो लेकिन रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी एक कोई देनी चाहिए.
सुपर सर. सर और एक सर, नया बिजनेस चालू करने में आप कैसे सोचता है सर?
नया बिजनेस जो हमने किया था कि स्टार्ट से जब अलग अलग कंज्यूमर प्रोडक्ट में, जैसे कहते हैं वॉरेन बफेट का मैंने बुक पढ़ा था कि डोंट पुट ऑल योर एग्स इन वन बास्केट. तो ऐसे हम अलग अलग डाइवर्सिफिकेशन करते गए, और उसमें से फिर ग्रीन हाउसेस है या विंड मिल्स है, तो वी पुट दैट फॉर टैक्स प्लानिंग, कि उसमें डिप्रिसिएशन भी था और सेल टैक्स बेनिफिट भी था और जनरेशन भी अच्छा आता था. तो वो हिसाब से हमने विंड मिल्स का काम किया. विंड मिल से फिर हमने उसमें अपॉर्चुनिटी देखी कि O&M में बहुत गैप है, कि कंपनियां बराबर ऑपरेशन एंड मेंटेनेंस नहीं कर रही है. तो उसमें हमने रेनॉम कंपनी शुरुआत की, वो उसमें अभी सुजलॉन ने भी स्टेक लिया है. तो ऐसे करते करते हम डाइवर्सिफिकेशन करते गए. जैसे हमारे कंज्यूमर प्रोडक्ट्स है, स्टार ऑयल है, राइस है, तो इसमें हमको जो नमकीन है उसके साथ में आटा है, तो वो अलाइड बिजनेसेस है, तो उसको हम उसके साथ करते गए. फिर एजुकेशन शुरू किया, क्योंकि हमारे बच्चे हमने यहाँ पे एम्पायर खड़ा किया था कोल्हापुर में, और बच्चे बाहर गए थे पढ़ने को. तो वो सोच के किया कि हमारे बच्चे बाहर जाते हैं तो और भी बच्चे बाहर जाते होंगे, तो टू स्टॉप दैट ब्रेन ड्रेन हमने एजुकेशन की शुरुआत की और आज बहुत अच्छी तरह से चल रहा है। 60 स्टूडेंट से शुरू की थी, आज 20,000 स्टूडेंट्स है वहाँ पे। तो और उसके बाद शुरू किया कि एयरलाइन, जैसे मेरा पैशन था पहले से, तो एयरलाइन शुरुआत की 2 प्लेन से, स्टार एयर। तो आज मुझे कहने में खुशी महसूस होती है कि इट्स नंबर 1 रीजनल एयरलाइन इन इंडिया एंड 14 आज प्लेन है। और हम जो 2 टियर 3 टियर सिटीज़ को मेट्रो से कनेक्ट कर रहे हैं। नाउ वी हैव कनेक्टेड 27 डेस्टिनेशंस इन इंडिया। तो विद इन 3-4 years वी विल कनेक्ट ऑल 2-3 टियर सिटीज़ टू मेट्रोज़। तो ये हमारा प्लान है। और जैसे लोकल मार्ट शुरू किया था कि जो छोटे छोटे जो 2 टियर 3 टियर सिटीज़ है जहाँ पे डी मार्ट नहीं है, बड़े बड़े सुपरमार्केट्स नहीं है, तो वो वहाँ पे शुरू करने के बाद उसमें से भी एक एम्प्लॉयमेंट जनरेशन का काम होता है। जैसे हमारे पास 11,000 आज वर्कर्स है, तो वो अगर 3,000 होते हैं लोकल मार्ट्स तो हमारे ग्रुप में 40,000 वर्कर्स रहेंगे। तो ये हिसाब से एम्प्लॉयमेंट जनरेशन का भी काम होता है और दोनों भी काम होते हैं। उनको एक्सपीरियंस भी मिलता है छोटे छोटे गाँव के लोगों को। तो वो हिसाब से हमने डाइवर्सिफिकेशन किया है।
कब क्रिकेट टीम कब आप खरीदेंगे सर? आईपीएल का टीम कब खरीदेंगे सर आप?
आईपीएल टीम वी विल बाय आफ्टर आईपीओ।
Yeah, we want to see the star team. Madam, for you, one small question: that how do you manage the professionals when you take it on them? How do you manage the professionals, madam, in your company?
You have to have faith in them. You have to have absolutely blind faith. Till you hire somebody, you can ask all the questions. But once you hire somebody, you have to trust the person. You have to have faith in that person. And that is how it will only go forward.
Fantastic, madam. Most of the people, again, is coming out of the research, is that you hire the people looking at their strength and you fire the people after realizing their weakness. So most of the people don't look at the strength. Once they hire them, they only see the weaknesses. So be careful when you're hiring. And you should also put a question in a family managed business: why a talented person to join your company? A talented person will get a job anywhere he goes. Why should he join you? That you put the question to yourself, probably you'll be able to get a right kind of people to help you to work in building your organization. Chaudhary Saab, for you, what is the future for Jaipur Rugs? Where all you want to go in the world? I know that you're already there in many parts of the world, but नया शोरूम आप किधर ओपन करेंगे सर?
देखिए, मतलब जो हमारा जो फ्यूचर प्लान है कि हम लोग B2C डायरेक्ट कस्टमर को, क्योंकि जब इस कंपनी को, जब इस बिजनेस को मैंने शुरू किया था तो विजन था कि कनेक्टिंग द क्रिएटिव कैपेबिलिटी ऑफ द ग्रास रूट आर्टिजन टू द ग्लोबल मार्केट्स।
फैंटास्टिक।
तो अब उसको हम डायरेक्ट आर्टिजन को एंड कंज्यूमर से, ग्लोबल कस्टमर से जोड़ें, और योगेश इसके लिए बेस्ट है।
Fantastic. Yogesh, you have a lot of responsibility to deliver. Your father has high hopes on you. And I'll skip the question for you and I'll go to Mr. Mehta. Sir, what is the advice for the family managed business to run the company in the next generation and how to retain our family members in the business?
Actually, you know the capability of your children's. So, according to your children's capability, you hand over the responsibilities to them. That is the main things. Sometimes we hand over the lot of work to them and they are not capable, and at that time they are losing a lot. So my suggestions to the parents is that you know the capability of your children, because from the birth until today you know all the ins, outs, everything you know. So hand over the responsibilities according to their capabilities. If he is capable, then give the full freedom to whatever he want to do. And for the young generations, take the responsibilities, take the risk, but the calculative risk. Whatever you have in your pocket, you can take the risk according to that. Don't think it, you can take the money from the market, and according to the market you can take the risk. That is that main advice to the youngsters, and For the family business, the main thing is that the coordination between both the generations and your staff. How to manage the staff, the youngsters knows it. And parents also knows how to maintain the old your staff, because we knows it. Our staff is our asset. Our staff is our asset, and the company run by the good staffs. So we have to maintain the staffs and balance with that your family members and the staff.
Very nice, sir. I think he has summarized very nicely the family managed business, but put it more simply, in a family managed businesses, the family should be together, family should have that cohesiveness, and they should be talking every day and do not take the business home. So family should be intact. If the family is in good condition, business will always do well because you feel like doing more for the family. That's how the business will do well. And if the family is in good shape, if the business is in good shape, you can attract the talent for the management. I've seen many cases when brothers are on not talking terms, the senior leadership will leave very quickly because they think that these people are only not talking terms, and one brother says yes, other brother say no, and how can I work in this organization? So you should be very, very careful of seeing that the family is in good shape, business is in good shape, and management in a good shape. With that, if any questions are there, I'll take one or two questions. With that, we'll close. Yes.
I enjoyed the fact that you have done this coordination very well in terms of engaging them very well. So the question I have is about this. I have been in a professional environment like you, I've worked for a competition to you like SC Johnson and all that FMCG companies. So, and also from SP Jain, so I've seen the family managed business very closely there. So the thing which I realize is when you change the management from the father to son or the daughter, I see that there is some paradox in the sense that traditionally the elders sort of like the loyalty factor, whereas the children like the competence angle. So how do they balance it? Number one. Number two, when people are trying to professionalize the management, is it not a challenge to get the best in class vis-a-vis the other opportunities they have in place? So with the changing landscape, how do you look at the technology angle, which where the new blood looks at technology, whereas the old blood looks at managing the traditional way. So these paradoxes and these challenges, how do they overcome? So anybody can answer that.
Anybody wants to answer his questions? Okay. The first thing is that when the generation changes, everything changes. Okay? You need to be keeping in mind. When the leadership changes, everything changes, and people should be aware of that. And elders will bring in the wisdom to the table, and youngsters will bring the knowledge which is current in the nature they bring in, and both should respect each other for what they bring to the table. Number three is that when younger generation takes, the senior management in the older generation will revolt. Because they have seen this as a kid coming to the office on a Saturday, Sunday and playing around them, and they will not be interested in reporting that kid at any point in time. So we need to say, the olden days we used to have a golden handshake, keep them as an advisor, pay them whatever is required. It's not a question of the payment. You can pay them whatever you want. But they will ensure that something is not going okay. Something is not going okay. In a family managed business, network works where network is not there also. In the family managed business, the network works where the network is not there also, because somebody will inform him, sir, आपका लड़का ऐसा बोला है, sir, आपका लड़का ऐसा कर रहा है, sir, वो आज late आ गया, जल्दी गया, उनका friends के साथ था. All these things will make somebody to worry about it. So this is something which you should keep back of your mind, that when you are given up, you are given it and you don't care about it. That's number one. And why is that from first generation to second generation, only 30% is going? What happened to the 70% is because of this problem, the company got destroyed. Because of this, the company got destroyed, that's 70%. And the second generation to third generation, why it is only 12% is that they will never be able to come up to the father's benchmarking. Your father used to be like that, your uncle used to be like that, your grandfather used to be like that. Bolke, he'll start something on his own, he'll become a startup, and he said that no. Because the benchmark me is so high. So if you see in Tata's also, we hear only 3 names. In the entire 200 years of legacy, only 3 names we hear, right? There are many people have come and gone, but only 3 names we hear. In Murugapas, we hear only 2 names. In TVS, only 1 name. So you should know that that's the burden also, and that's the pride also, and you should respect that. You're coming from that family. So technology will stay, tradition will respect, innovation, what we go along, to be competitive at the marketplace. And the return on investment in the family managed business is the lowest in the world. Why? Because they are generous. And we call it as a 3% EBITDA margin between the family managed business and professionally managed business. The EBITDA margin is about 3%. That's because of generosity. And once you become professional, you'll get that, all those things. And I worked for a family managed business for 31 years. When I joined the company, it was a 6 crore company. When I left the company, it was a 2,850 crore company in Jyoti Labs. All my promoter did is that gave us the freedom to work. I'm a professional, but worked for 31 years. And there is no problem about it, right? So you need to give the freedom to demonstrate, and you need to give the freedom to the professionals to fail and appreciate that. They have taken some risk, they have failed it, and they get up again, and they run again. So you need to have large-heartedness to engage in the professional. So I think I've answered the question, and if nothing is there.
What is the percentage of family-owned and managed businesses in rest of the world?
All over the world, barring India, the success rate is up to 75%. And in Germany, the family-owned businesses take 60% of the GDP. In India, it is 29% of the GDP. But we create 60% of the jobs. And in Germany, or in, for that matter, Japan, Japan has a beautiful way of managing they call it as the country's treasure. So in Japan, if you don't have a son or don't have a daughter, or they don't want to be in the business, you can take a CEO, and the CEO can be adopted by you. It's called the kin of their business, and he will get your family name. So today, Sony don't have to be the original Sony person. Today's Yashika don't have to be the family member. Because the family adopted him, he will get the surname so that he will say he's the family of Yashika. His son may not. So they have made a beautiful arrangement in Japan, because for them, maintaining the legacy of their family name is so important, and they give 25% incentive and tax break if you are going through the kinship. It's called kinship. So you can take one professional and you can adopt him into the family only for the purpose of the business, and you'll get 25% rebate in your tax. So most of the people use that route to continue the businesses.
Sir, I have one question.
India is the, yeah.
I have one question, sir. I'm just 22 years old. I just started my company. I wanted to build a legacy for next 6 to 7 generations. So what is the advice for a youngster like me from everyone? This question is for everyone. Like last year when I attended Jito Summit, I was 0. Today I was with the 28 people team. So what is the advice for me to build a legacy? For anyone?
Come again?
Sir, I'm just 22 years old. I wanted to build a legacy for next 6 to 7 generations. So that my work can impact the whole world. Last year when I attended Jito Connect, I was just 0. I was the only one who's working for the company. Now I have a team of 28 people. So what is the advice to grow more speed than any other like others?
So in which field are you?
Medical pharma.
Pharma?
Yeah.
But I don't know about pharma. So how to grow that?
But as an entrepreneur, how to stay in that consistent game and maintaining the people, hiring, financial, everything need to be in a consistent way. So what is that?
When you are 22-year-old, you need to think what do you do when you are 25, And many short term will become one medium term, many medium terms will become one long term, and many long terms will become one lifetime, and many lifetimes will become a legacy building. So just think about next 3 years, and people should work for you for what you are, not for the salary what you pay.
Yeah, yes, sir.
If they like you to work with you, next time when we meet, you should have 200 people,
Definitely.
then 2,000 people, and you should pay the salary out of the profit, not out by borrowing.
Thank you.
All the best.
Thank you, sir.
All the best. So I take this opportunity to thank Jito, Anshu Madam, amazing host she is, and thank you for inviting me for this. This is the third time I'm coming to Jito program. Wonderful. I learn a lot by talking to all these stalwarts, and it's an amazing panel. I could have spent another 2 hours talking to them. I had so much of questions, but because of the time, I'm
Excuse me, I have a
closing
last
this.
question.
Thank you very much.
Last question for this thing. Do you, your children, it's advisable to make them work before they join your business? Outside your business? Madam, you can take them. You want me to take this? Yeah. It's advisable to make them work
आपका
outside.
सवाल है whether I should my son should work in somebody else's business before he joins my business.
Yes,
He's
yes.
already working in somebody else's business, his own business.
Yeah.
No, I definitely think they should, because they get because then they start from bottom up. They don't start right from the top. So that is why typically all of us, we have also worked in our family business. हमको भी नीचे से शुरू करवाते हैं, or we work somewhere else and then we start our family. We join the business.
Okay, so can we have a huge round of applause for everyone? We are very grateful today. I'll just take 1 single minute. We have to felicitate every single person who have come here and who have shared their words of wisdom and also, their years of experience. We're having this Jugaalbandhi, generational Jugaalbandhi with Ullas sir for the second time, and it's a hit always. So for the felicitation, I would like to call Mavirji Chaplot, Secretary Apex, to felicitate Sanjay ji. Jinendra ji Bhandari to felicitate Ullas ji, Sanjay ji Jain to felicitate Sangeeta ji, Ravi ji Murad to felicitate Nandakishore ji, Rohit ji Surana to felicitate Yogesh ji, and Rajesh ji Jain to felicitate Ashok ji. Can we have a huge round of applause for everyone? Thank you so much.
कामत जी ने एक बहुत अच्छा क्वेश्चन रेज किया था और संजय जी ने बहुत अच्छा जवाब दिया उसका। तो मैं एक थोड़ा सा ध्यान आकर्षित करना चाहूँगा कि सर आपने बोला कि सक्सेशन होना चाहिए, बिल्कुल होना चाहिए, एबल हाथों में होना चाहिए, और जब कुछ नहीं हो तो अडॉप्शन हो रहा है। तो मैं आपको कामत जी बताना चाहता हूँ, ये जीतो परिवार में अडॉप्शन का ज़रूरत ही नहीं है। वी आर अ फैमिली, तो हमको तो बहुत सारे सक्सेशन मिल चुके हैं ऑलरेडी, एंड आई एम एन एग्जाम्पल ऑफ इट। तो मैनी बिजनेसेस में हमको, जैसे अशोक सा हैं, ऐसे हमको गाइड मिलते रहते हैं। तो ये जीतो परिवार है, और इस परिवार में वी आर थैंकफुल टू दीज स्टालवर्ड्स जिन्होंने हमको जीतो मेंबर्स को एज ए फैमिली समझा, और दिस इज़ आउटस्टैंडिंग एंड वी ऑल आर ऑब्लाइज्ड, थैंकफुल for this great show and evening, and thank you to the Jeff family for organizing this. So thank you so much.